The world's most respected business thinkers are in Manila to meet and shape the minds of the next generation of business leaders at the 16th World Forum of International Association of Jesuit Business Schools. The World Forum aims to discuss the best practices in business academia and with keynote speakers from Jesuit business schools and covering topics such as social responsibility and values-based curricula for business schools. The World Forum is the largest annual gathering of Jesuit business school deans from all over the world, and this marks the first time that the Ateneo is hosting the event. Let's find out what happened in the forum from our distinguished guests. We have Dr. Manuel Escudero, Special Advisor and former Head of Networks of the United Nations Global Compact, Dr. Gregory Offerts, the Executive Director of the International Association of Jesuit Business Schools, and Dean Rodolfo Ang of the John Gokongwei School of Management, or JGSOM, at the Ateneo. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us in the studio. I want to ask Mr. Ang first, what is this forum all about? Is this an annual thing for Jesuit business schools?
The forum is an annual gathering of deans of Jesuit business schools from all over the world. This year our theme was sustainable development. It's a growing field. It's one of the most important fields going forward. And Jesuit business schools have been doing this for many years. It's an area we're strong in. So the forum was to bring us together to share our best practices so that we can do our share in moving the world forward in terms of sustainable development. And Dr. Escudero was our keynote speaker at the forum. And bringing what they're doing at the UN to us and telling us what the best practices are that we can use going forward.
And what did the participants learn from you, Dr. Escudero?
Well, I don't know if they learned much from me because I think that we really were very like-minded. But I think that we were discussing basically what is happening at this moment with business education. And, you know, business education is being changed at this moment dramatically worldwide. And we can see that new deans are, you know, for instance, in Harvard, there is a new dean that is very keen, you know, in new topics like the question of sustainability. Now, one may wonder why is happening this. And the answer is because I think that business themselves are changing. And business are learning that if they don't respect the planet, they don't respect the societies where they operate, they are in danger. And I think that, you know, just as a question of risk, wise risk management, and not only that, but also in terms of new value creation, the impact of business in society and the environment is becoming very important for business. And therefore, business education is changing accordingly.
That's right. I want to learn more about what you had to say. But Dr. Offerts, I just want to ask you first, what is the advantage of putting all these deans together and talking, and what can you get out of this kind of event and activity?
Yes, well, the International Association of Jesuit Business Schools recognizes 176 universities and colleges and programs throughout the world. It represents really an opportunity for us to share best practices, to learn from each other, and to actually help our leadership of our business schools to ensure that we are preparing men and women for the world of tomorrow, who will in fact be able to make an impact upon their society and the leadership that they bring. We honestly believe that this network also allows us to communicate with each other in a way, because of our value system, a way that we can actually make a difference in the world. And so we're so proud to be here in Manila and to be at Ateneo de Manila. It was a fantastic program that brought together from all of the 6 regions of the world men and women who are our leaders of business education for tomorrow.
Okay, Dr. Escudero, one thing you most probably touched on in your keynote is developing businesses for the poor. Is that correct? Is that part of your keynote address?
Well, yeah. Certainly it was. I mean, poverty should be a relevant topic for business, because business today have to be involved with the communities where they operate. And therefore, a business student has to, in my opinion, learn about poverty. So poverty as a challenge for business education certainly is a topic, and in fact, not only the Jesuit International Association of Business Schools, but other important associations worldwide are, getting into that topic as something that is important. A business school student has to have a transformational experience when he is studying about business, and if he's going to be aware of the environment where he operates, he has to learn about poverty. Certainly.
Is this a new trend in business education, and imparting to those kids who are taking up business courses, college students who are taking up business courses, to not just, well, for some people, talk about business, first thing that comes to mind is putting up your own business and making a profit, coming up with revenues, and helping out the community for a lot is just going to be secondary, or just by the way. Is this something new, or has this been growing, or has this been an initial thrust even before?
Well, I think this is where Jesuit schools come into play. That's the whole vision, mission of a Jesuit university is to make a difference in the world through service and excellence. So the business schools in the Jesuit schools have to follow the same vision. And they say that today the new paradigm of development is that it's called social entrepreneurship. In the past, people in the development field think of business people as the enemy. Now, business people are part of social development and social entrepreneurship, immersion. There's so many areas where business people can make a difference through business. You don't have to turn your back in business to make a difference in development. So, no, it's perfectly consistent with the Jesuit vision and mission, and that's why it's so good to bring the deans of business schools that share the same vision mission together. Because we see how they're doing it in India, we see how they're doing it in Mexico, we see how they're doing it in Spain, and we say, how can we do it in the Philippines? And then we share what we're doing in the Philippines too. Right? So
that's what I was going to ask. What would be the best models of practices, examples of good practices that we got from other countries, and what could be the good and best practices we have here in the Philippines that can be used in other countries? Would you be able to give us an example of those